Chapter 6. The Power of Normal. Simply the thing that I am shall make me live. William Shakespeare. People walking into Silverado for the first time might be surprised to see a group of men in the living room drinking beer and watching a football game on television, but they wouldn't think twice if they saw the same thing in someone's home. Silverado's view is that residents don't have to change what they normally like to do just because they moved into a memory care community. In fact, not changing is central to Silverado's care. This practice is called normalization. Bent Netanyahu, the Swedish humanitarian and scholar who formulated the concept, defined the word with a poet's grace. Normalization means a normal rhythm of the day. You get out of bed in the morning, you get dressed, and leave the house for school or work. You don't stay home. The day is not a monotonous 24 hours with every minute endless. You eat at normal times of the day and in normal fashion. Not in bed, but at a table. Not early in the afternoon for the convenience of the staff. Normalization means a normal rhythm of the week. You live in one place, you go to work in another, and participate in leisure activities in yet another. Normalization means a normal rhythm of the year. Seasonal changes bring with them a variety of types of food, work, cultural events, sports, leisure activities. Just think, we thrive on seasonal changes. Normalization means having a range of choices, wishes and desires respected and considered. When Bent Netanyahu was 32, the Swedish Red Cross sent him to Austria to assist Hungarian refugees who had fled their country's 1956 revolution and had been crowded into military barracks in a camp near Vienna. Later, he was sent to other camps in Europe where some World War II refugees had been living for more than a decade. In assessing these people groups and their living conditions, Netanyahu was deeply affected. This period taught me that when you are a refugee, you have a past that is gone and does not count in your new country. No one cares about you. Nobody trusts you. You really know nothing about the future. Your situation is bleak, uncertain, and anonymous. Such a situation can create a very unhealthy climate and dark moods. There is no place for you, your family, or your few belongings. You have to be strong, but you can become mentally wounded and socially handicapped. Netanyahu's next assignment was to raise funds for children in Sweden who had cerebral palsy. The objective of the Red Cross was to move the youngsters out of large, impersonal institutions into settings that were more like home. Netanyahu was struck by how these children's lives paralleled those of the refugees. Like the segregated refugees, they could not be certain where they were going. Their present position was bleak, and they had very little power. They enjoyed no independence, and their state of dependence humiliated them. From all of his experiences, Netanyahu was learning the importance of independence and the right to self-determination. Thus began the development of his normalization concept. When a group of people treated as less than normal because of physical, mental, or economic condition, their spirits wither. He determined that living with the same customs of society and with personal choices should be everyone's right. In 1969, a United States Presidential Commission studied the living conditions of people with mental disabilities. Citing normalization, their landmark report brought fresh attention to the large facilities where many mentally handicapped Americans had been sent. What emerged was shocking reports of people living nearly naked, soiled by their own waste, showered as a group by cold water from a hose, locked alone in barren rooms with only small barred windows for light. As a result of this disclosure, a push began in the mental health profession to move developmentally disabled people out of the horrific institutions and into small group homes in cities and towns where they could become part of society. At about the same time, psychologist Dr. Wolfensberger had extended Netanyahu's work on normalization to include other devalued people. As a child in Germany during World War II, when bombs were falling in the cities, Wolfensberger was sent to the countryside for safety. Years later in the United States, he earned a PhD in psychology with a focus on developmental disability and special education. Writing over 40 books and monographs and more than 250 chapters and articles, Dr. Wolfensberger earned worldwide renown as he focused on the questions sparked by his own traumatic experience as a child in wartime. How can people who are seemingly good do bad things to others? Dr. Wolfensberger determined that the pattern begins when groups of people with similar traits, physical or mental impairment, nationality, race, or religion, are devalued in the eyes of those considered normal. From there, it's all too easy to treat people in ways that would otherwise be unthinkable. This disregard can begin with simple acts of discourtesy. Left unchecked, it can slide downward with surprising speed to verbal, emotional, and physical abuse, even to deprivation of life itself. Silverado is the only memory care organization founded on normalization, and its use grew directly out of the work of Najirzi and Wolfensberger. At Silverado, you will never see a coloring book and crayons lying on a table in front of a silver-haired man. It's not dignified. You won't spot a lady walking down the hall at 3 p.m. clad in bathrobe and slippers. It's not normal. You won't come across laundered garments piled immodestly on the top of a dresser. It's demeaning. You won't see a hand-scrawled note taped to the wall by a bed that says, "He needs toileting frequently." It's not respectful. At Silverado, you will see football fans gathering in front of a game with brews and chips, sharing a lifelong Sunday afternoon passion. You'll notice ladies dressed in the daytime attire they've always worn. When they head out from their rooms to participate in programs and activities, they carry their purses with them as any woman might upon leaving her home. When you visit residents in their rooms, you'll find that intimate apparel is tucked out of sight and the walls are free of demeaning notes. In their place are family pictures, cherished artwork, souvenirs from special trips, and other meaningful items that represent the arc of normal living. Memory boxes just outside resident rooms hold memories testifying to individuals' interests and achievements. Gold records shine in the display by the room of a music industry executive. A baseball mitt and trophies are the cherished possession of a resident who made a name for himself in minor league baseball and might have reached the big leagues if not for a bum elbow. Diseases of the brain brought on a host of changes, but it has not sent people back to childhood. At times, people seeking positions as caregivers at Silverado will say, "I treat the people I care for the way I would treat my own children." While they mean well, it reflects the common attitude in the senior living profession that a memory-impaired person is childlike. Silverado's adherence to normalization is so stringent that teams of employees conduct normalization audits. Staff from one Silverado community will visit another. They devoted an entire day to touring, making sure no aspect of operations or resident care has strayed from normality. "We do this from a constructive criticism standpoint," said a resident engagement director who recently participated in an inspection. "When you work in the same community every day, you need to bring in a fresh set of eyes to make sure nothing has been overlooked." For nearly 2 decades after her husband passed away, Maria lived by herself in an apartment. Her 3 grown children stopped in every day, enabling her to continue the routine that has been central to her adult life, cooking meals and chatting in the Spanish language of her native Argentina. As Maria neared 80, her family noticed changes in her behavior, which were ultimately diagnosed as a symptom of memory impairment. She moved into a senior living community where the staff tried to involve her in sing-alongs and games with other residents. It was a nice place, and the people there worked hard to get her to participate, but she wasn't interested. Her son Al recalled, "Maria cried often and became restless, unable to sit still for more than a few minutes." After her condition declined to the point of hospitalization, Maria's family brought her to Silverado. From interviews with Maria and her family, Silverado's staff realized how important meal preparation had been to her life. It represented normal living for Maria. Participating in sing-along activities and conversing in English did not. Maria had lost her normal. Once Silverado's staff understood what was missing from Maria's life, they restored it. The culinary staff, which included several Spanish speakers, invited her to help out in the kitchen. Maria accepted the offer and began setting the tables for dinner. In the ensuing months, she happily took on more responsibilities. Now she prepares the tables for all 3 daily meals. She chops ingredients and garnishes plates, chatting in Spanish with her kitchen colleagues all the while. To those who work alongside Maria in the kitchen, she's a teammate and a friend, a normal part of the team. To others in her Silverado community, she's a smiling, active presence, busy with her daily routines. Her memory impairment is just another part of what makes her an individual, as does her ability to speak Spanish, her love for cooking, and many other personal traits. No one can remember the last time Maria cried. "My mother has returned to her old ways," her son Al said. "She has adopted a second family to care for and has been given back the lifestyle that mattered to her. She has purpose again. That is the power of normal."